Good morning, everybody. Happy Independence Day. We will now have the unfurling of the tricolor, followed by the national anthem.
मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्जल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Friends, it is my pleasure to announce that we have a very honorable guest amongst us, Honorable Congressman Joe Wilson. Please welcome him with a big round of applause. It's an honor that he is with us on our 74th Independence Day. Now I'll request Consul General Dr. Swati Kulkarni to please come to the podium and address the crowd.
It gives me great pleasure to greet all the people of India living in the country and abroad on the eve of the 74th Independence Day. August 15 fills us with the excitement of unfurling the tricolor, taking part in celebrations and listening to patriotic songs. On this day, the youth of India should feel the special pride of being citizens of a free nation. We gratefully remember our freedom fighters and martyrs whose sacrifices have enabled us to live in an independent nation. The ethos of our freedom struggle forms the foundation of modern India. Our visionary leaders brought together a diversity of worldviews to forge a common national spirit. They were committed to the cause of liberating Bharat Mata from oppressive foreign rule and securing the future of her children. Their thoughts and actions shaped the identity of India as a modern nation. We are fortunate that Mahatma Gandhi became the guiding light of our freedom movement. As much a saint as a political leader, he was a phenomena that could have happened only in India. Troubled by social strife, economic problems and climate change, the world seeks relief in Gandhiji's teachings. His quest for equality and justice is the mantra for our republic. I am glad to see the younger generations rediscover Gandhiji. Dear fellow citizens, the celebrations of Independence Day this year will be rather restrained. The reason is obvious. The whole world confronts a deadly virus which has disrupted all activities and taken a huge toll. It has altered the world we lived in before the pandemic. It is very reassuring to note that the central government, while anticipating the tremendous challenge, responded effectively and well in time. For a country so vast and diverse with high population density, meeting this challenge requires superhuman efforts. All state governments took measures in accordance with local circumstances. People also supported wholeheartedly. With our committed efforts, we have succeeded in containing the magnitude of the pandemic and saving a large number of lives. This is worth emulating by the wider world. The nation is indebted to doctors, nurses, and other health workers who have been continuously on the forefront of our fight against this virus. Unfortunately, many of them have lost their lives battling the pandemic. They are our national heroes. All corona warriors deserve a high praise. They go so much beyond their call of duty to save lives and ensure essential services. These doctors, health workers, members of disaster management teams, police personnel, sanitation workers, delivery staff, transportation, railway and aviation personnel, providers of various services, government employees, social service organizations, and generous citizens have been scripting inspiring stories of courage and selfless service. When cities and towns go quiet and roads are deserted, they work tirelessly to ensure that people are not deprived of healthcare and relief, water and electricity, transport and communication facilities, milk and vegetables, food and groceries, medicine and other essentials. They risk their own lives to save our life and livelihood. Amid this crisis, Cyclone Amphan hit us in West Bengal and Odisha. Concerted response of disaster management teams, central and state agencies, and alert citizens helped minimize loss of life. Floods have been disrupting lives of our people in the northeast and eastern states. Amid such onslaughts of disasters, it is gratifying to see all sections of society coming together to help those in distress. Dear fellow citizens, the poor and daily wage earners are the worst hit by the pandemic. In order to support them through this phase of crisis, virus containment efforts have been supplemented by welfare interventions. By introducing Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana, the government has enabled crores of people to earn their livelihood and mitigate the impact of job loss, dislocation, and disruption caused by the pandemic. The government continues to extend its helping hand through a number of initiatives supported wholeheartedly by the corporate sector, civil society, and citizens. The needy are being given free food grains so that no family goes hungry. The largest free food distribution program in the world has been extended till the end of November 2020 to provide succor to about 80 crore people every month. In order to ensure that migratory ration card holders get ration anywhere in the country, all states are being brought under the coverage of One Nation, One Ration Card scheme. Committed to taking care of our people stranded anywhere in the world, the government has brought back more than 10 lakh Indians, about 1 million, under the Vande Bharat mission. Indian Railways has been operating train services in these challenging circumstances to facilitate travel and transportation of people and goods. Confident of our strengths, we reached out to help other countries in their fight against COVID 19. In responding to calls from countries for supply of medicines, India has once again shown that it stands by the global community in times of distress. We have been at the forefront in evolving regional and global strategies for an effective response to the pandemic. The overwhelming support India got at the elections for the non-permanent seat of the United Nations Security Council is a testimony to the goodwill we enjoy internationally. It has been the tradition of India that we do not just live for ourselves but work for the well-being of the entire world. India's self-reliance means being self-sufficient without alienating or creating distance from the world. It implies that India will continue to engage with the world economy while maintaining its identity. Dear fellow citizens, the world now realizes what our sages had said long ago. The global community is but one family, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. However, even while the world community needs to fight together against the greatest challenge before humanity, some in our neighborhood tried to carry out their misadventure of expansion. Our brave soldiers laid down their lives defending our borders. Those worthy sons of Bharat Mata lived and died for national pride. The entire nation salutes the martyrs of Galwan Valley. Every Indian feels grateful to their family members. Their bravery in combat has demonstrated that while we believe in peace, we are also capable of giving a befitting response to any attempt of aggression. We are proud of the members of our armed forces, paramilitary forces, and police personnel who protect the borders and ensure our internal security. I believe that in the fight against COVID 19, life and livelihood both are essential. We have looked at the current crisis as an opportunity to initiate reforms to revitalize the economy for the benefit of all, especially farmers and small entrepreneurs. Landmark reforms have been introduced in agriculture sector. Now farmers can have barrier-free trade and get best price for their produce anywhere in the country. The Essential Commodities Act has been amended to remove certain regulatory restrictions on farmers. This will help raise farmers' income. Dear fellow citizens, we have learned some tough lessons in the year 2020. The invisible virus has demolished the illusion that human being is the master of nature. I believe it is still not too late for humanity to correct its course and live in harmony with nature. The pandemic, like climate change, has awakened the global community to our shared destiny. In my view, human centric collaboration is more important than economic centric inclusion in the present context. The greater this change, the better it will be for the humanity. The 21st century should be remembered as the century when humanity put aside differences and collaborated to save the planet. The second lesson is that we are all equal before Mother Nature and we primarily depend on our fellow residents for survival and growth. Coronavirus does not recognize any artificial divisions created by human society. This reinforces the belief that we need to rise above all man made differences, prejudices, and barriers. Compassion and mutual help have been adopted as basic values by the people in India. We need to further strengthen this virtue in our conduct. Only then can we create a better future for all of us. The third lesson is about augmenting health infrastructure. Public hospitals and laboratories have been leading the fight against COVID 19. Public health services have helped the poor cope with the pandemic. In view of this, public health infrastructure needs to be expanded and strengthened. The fourth lesson relates to science and technology. The pandemic has highlighted the need to accelerate developments in science and technology. During the lockdown and subsequent unlocking, information and communication technology has emerged as an effective tool for governance, education, business, office work, and social connect. It has helped meet the twin objectives of saving lives and resumption of activities. Offices of the Government of India and of the state governments have been extensively using virtual interface to discharge their functions. The judiciary has been conducting virtual court proceedings to deliver justice. In Rashtrapati Bhavan also, we have used technology to conduct virtual conferences and carry out many activities. IT and communication tools have promoted e-learning and distance education. Work from home has become the norm in many sectors. Technology has enabled certain establishments in government and private sectors to work overtime to keep the wheels of the economy running. Thus, we have learned the lesson that adoption of science and technology in harmony with nature will help sustain our survival and growth. These lessons will prove useful to humanity. The younger generation has learned the lesson well, and I believe that the future of India is safe in their hands. These are difficult times for all of us, more so for our youth. The closure of our educational institutions would have caused anxiety among our girls and boys, casting a shadow over their dreams and aspirations for the time being. However, I would like them to remember that these difficult times won't last and they should not give up working for their dreams. The past is full of inspiring examples of exciting reconstruction of societies, economies, and countries after such devastations. I am sure that our country and youth have a bright future. With a view to providing futuristic education to our children and youth, the central government has decided to implement the National Education Policy. I am confident that with implementation of this policy, a new quality education system will be developed and this will transform the future challenges into opportunities, paving the way for a new India. Our youth will be able to freely choose their subjects according to their interests and talents. They would have an opportunity to realize their potential. Our future generations will not only be able to get employment on the strength of such abilities, but will also create employment opportunities for others. The National Education Policy spells a long-term vision with far-reaching impact. It will strengthen the culture of inclusion, innovation, and institution in the sphere of education. Imparting education in the mother tongue has been given emphasis in order to help young minds grow spontaneously. This will strengthen Indian languages as well as the unity of the country. Youth empowerment is essential for building a strong nation. The National Education Policy is a right step in this direction. My dear fellow citizens, only 10 days ago, construction of temple at Sri Ram Janmabhoomi began in Ayodhya. It was indeed a moment of pride for all. People of the country maintained restraint and patience for a long time and reposed unflinching trust in the judicial system. The issue of Ram Janmabhoomi was resolved through judicial process. All concerted parties and the people respectfully accepted the verdict of the Supreme Court and displayed before the world Indian ethos of peace, non-violence, love, and harmony. I congratulate all fellow citizens for their commendable conduct. Dear fellow citizens, when India won freedom, many predicted that our experiment with democracy will not last long. They saw our ancient traditions and rich diversity as hurdles in democratization of our polity. But we have always nurtured them as our strengths that make the largest democracy in the world so vibrant. India has to continue playing its leading role for the betterment of humanity. The patience and wisdom being demonstrated by all of you in coping with the pandemic has been appreciated all over the world. I am confident that you will continue to maintain caution and act responsibly. We have a lot to offer to the global community, especially for intellectual and spiritual enrichment and promotion of world peace. With this spirit, I offer a prayer for the well-being of one and all. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukh bhag bhavet. It means, may all be happy, may all be free from illness, may all see what is auspicious, may no one come to grief. The message of this prayer for universal well-being is India's unique gift to humanity. I once again congratulate you on the eve of 74th Independence Day. I wish you good health and a bright future. Thank you. Jai Hind. May I now request Honorable Congressman Wilson to give his remarks. First, I will felicitate him.
Oh my goodness, wow. Thank you so much. Hey, come on, hey, thank you so much. Thank you, Monsieur. And ladies and gentlemen and friends of India, happy Independence Day. I am so grateful to be with you, and I want to make sure you heard it. Happy Independence Day.
Happy
And,
Independence Day.
What an extraordinary time. And it's such an honor to be here with the Consul General. She has been so successful as a superstar, promoting better relationships, economic, military, whatever, between the world's largest democracy and the United States, the oldest democracy. What a time in history for us to celebrate, and I'm just so honored to be here. You need to be aware, I'm also grateful to be here with KV Kumar, who is the president of the India-U.S. International Chamber of Commerce. He works tirelessly on behalf of the relationship between India and the United States and the people and jobs for the people in both countries. And my background is that I was born with an appreciation of the people of India. My dad served in the Flying Tigers, the U.S. Army Air Corps during World War II. And so he served in India, and one of my favorite pictures is First Lieutenant Hugh Wilson, my dad, standing in front of the Taj Mahal in 1944. And so that was, and so when I was growing up, he said, Joe, the people of India work hard. And so when Indian Americans started buying hotels and motels in South Carolina, I said, I know who you are. And of course they did better than that. They bought a majority of the hotels and motels, and as a real estate attorney, I think there's something about hospitality. It creates entry-level jobs for hundreds of thousands of people, and this is across the United States. And then I was really grateful that one of my former chiefs of staff is Dino Tupera, a wonderful young fellow who has just been elected a delegate to the Republican National Convention in Charlotte. So over and over, and Chirag Shah, another one of my former staff members, is now the executive director of AHOA, the Asian American Hotel Owners. So over and over, in fact, another fact, I hired when I served in the state senate with Lisa Shah, the daughter of Seren and Lena Shah here of Atlanta. Lisa was the first Indian American to serve as a state senate page. And she had another distinction. People pointed out to me, she was the most beautiful page we'd ever had in the state senate. So, I'm just over and over again, I've had wonderful opportunities. And then I want to congratulate the people of India, and that is economically, last year was a huge year. For the first time in history, the economy of India now exceeds the level of the economies of our great allies who helped start America, France and the UK. Look how far India has come, and so I'm just so grateful for that achievement. And then in defense, I'm so proud of President Trump renaming the Pacific Command PACOM to Indo-PACOM. That means that we want to work together, and we are, and with the presidents visiting India earlier this year, over and over again, the relationship, the mutual defense, and then sadly my sympathy for the people of India, the loss of life, as we saw, by the aggression by the People's Republic of China. But we have a shared challenge that we're working together. I'm very encouraged with the Wuhan virus that we know that India has one of the most advanced pharmaceutical industries in the world. And so working together, the United States and India with Israel, we have a great opportunity to develop a vaccine to protect the people of India, to protect the people of the world. So over and over again, we live with this. And then last year was special to me. That is that a year ago today, I was at the Red Fort, built in 1510. It's always humbling to find out the history of India, how the ancient civilization that has truly developed, and to be there with the Prime Minister and his positive message. And then later that day, I actually had the opportunity to go to Agra and stand on the exact spot where my dad stood in 1944. So I just have so many wonderful memories. And then to be a guest at Howdy Modi. The people of India should understand that was the largest welcome program in the history of the United States for a foreign head of state. Nothing has ever achieved 60,000 people to welcome the Prime Minister with President Donald Trump. That is inconceivable. If you get 10 people to come, that's pretty good. But this is wonderful to see, again, the deep relationship that we're building, and I'm honored to be serving in Congress. However, I can be of service. I want to give an invitation when we can have a visit. I want to extend an invitation to please come to 1436 Longworth House Office Building. When you come by, we will get a picture, as I've done with the Consul General, in front of the flag of India, which is proudly on display in our office. And then we'll also get a picture at the window with the dome of the U.S. Capitol on your shoulder. So over and over again, happy Independence Day.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.